Welcome to the MicroWedge, the MW12. This little bad boy was created as a collaboration effort between Dave Rat-Levine from Rat Sound and the EAW engineers down in the engineering hallway. This is a 12-inch coaxial stage monitor, and from its very early design stages, Dave was committed to creating a stage monitor that had as much attention to detail as front-of-house loudspeaker systems were getting. So all too often manufacturers were building these wonderful front-of-house systems and then matter-of-factly creating stage monitors to follow. Dave took a different approach and said, you know what, I want to put all my efforts into building the ultimate stage monitor system, and this is the first shot coming from that design philosophy. If you look over here, you can actually see the guts of the MW12, and it is a serious piece of equipment. We actually have a 12-inch low-frequency driver and a 1.4-inch compression driver with a 3-inch voice coil. These are both, as you can see, designed with orbital neodymium magnet arrays. And it's creating a 90-degree conical output on the front of this device. So it's a pretty stout little piece of equipment gone into the MicroWedge enclosure. Now, taking you back over to the box, I'd like to review some of the special features of the enclosure. First of all, you see the shape, this wonderful shape that Dave's designed. First of all, it's extremely low profile and extremely clean all the way around the box. He did this in the thought process of doing things like television video shoots, making sure that there was no connectors, handles, labels, anything else hanging off the sides of the cabinet that would distract from a video shoot. This shape also facilitates arraying the boxes, so you could put 1, 2, 3 enclosures in an array based on this enclosure shape. Now, that might be counterintuitive to you, understanding that it's creating a 90-degree conical dispersion, but what's done in application is essentially we put the vocal mix in the center box as an example, and we'll use 2 wedges, one on left and one on right, to do a stereo band mix. And when you do it in that fashion, then the overlap between the enclosures is actually desirable, creating the stereo field and having a mono source in the center. So that's really a cool thing. Now, if you look down here, there's a lot of business going on down here in the front. This is actually the low frequency port for the MW12, and because it's so close to the ground, it actually uses the floor as a mirror or as a loading boundary to increase the bottom end that's capable of coming from the enclosure, something that you don't really appreciate when you have ports on the top and so on, which a lot of stage wedges do. But on top of that, also in the port, you have the carrying handle for the MicroWedge. As you can see, my hand is gripping the handle there right now. Inside of the port, you have the switch to be able to put the MicroWedge in either a passive mode or a biamp mode. In passive mode, of course, you're using the internal crossover network for the MicroWedge. In the biamp mode, you'll be using external processing, such as the UX8800 signal processor, which will also give you the benefits of using gunless focusing presets for the MicroWedge. The connectors, the NL4 speak-on connectors, are left and right for daisy chaining monitors together. They're also located in the ports, so when the cables come out of the enclosure, they lay flat and directly against the floor, and the connectors are hidden away from the public's view. Again, very important when you're doing video shoots. Okay, so because of the lightweight nature of the box and the very ergonomically designed handle, it's extremely easy to carry around. As you can see, if I place it by my side, my hand extends straight down. The weight is nice and balanced in my hand, and it's an extremely comfortable box to move around. Now, you can also see on the outer surface this new finish that we've gone with. This is called road coat, and road coat is a new type of formulation which actually bonds to the wood. It's specially formulated to adhere to wood, where most finishes are more like a M&M, where you've got a hard candy shell, but as you crack that shell open, you'll start to flake and peel, and then all sorts of manner of things will happen to the box. The road coat won't do that. You can actually chip at this stuff with a chisel, and it may chip right at the point where you're hitting a little tiny bit, but it's not going to release from the wood. It's going to stay bonded to the wood. So this makes it really, really tough, and you should have a finish that's going to last for many, many years. And if that weren't enough, the actual grill on the MicroWedge is made of a heavy gauge steel. Another consideration we had with the MicroWedge was the placement of a tripod mic stand. You can actually place the forward leg of a tripod inside of the port on the front of the MicroWedge, and now you have a nice V shape here on the back of your mic stand to lay down your pedals or any other paraphernalia that you may have on hand. So it's a pretty well thought out design. The MicroWedge is definitely a powerhouse product for Dave and for EAW. We anticipate seeing lots of these out in the field, and we're absolutely confident you're going to love them when you hear them.